All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
It's great to be back.
Today we're going to be talking about something that's, it's kind of complex.
Yeah, it's a little bit wonky, but really, really important.
Yeah, we're looking ahead to 2025.
That's right.
And something's coming down the pipeline for anybody who's thinking of traveling to the UK. It's this new system called the Electronic Travel Authorization, or as they like to shorten it, ETA.
Yeah, we've seen these kinds of things pop up in other countries.
Right. Like what comes to mind?
Oh, well, the US has the ETA.
Oh, right.
And Canada's got their ETA.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the UK getting on board with that whole system.
So like if you're not from Europe and you want to, hop across the pond.
Right. You're going to need this.
Yeah, so we're talking non-European travelers. If you're planning a trip anytime after January 2025.
Big date to circle on the calendar.
This is going to be essential.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're working from some recent stuff, a report we dug up, and also some great tips that we saw from Sharon Baraka.
Oh, she's fantastic.
On her YouTube channel.
Baraka Global Media.
So so we're gonna try to unpack all of this for you.
Absolutely.
And figure out what this actually means for travelers.
You bet.
So, I think when people hear about this sort of thing, the first reaction is, oh, create more paperwork.
More forms. Yeah.
Nobody loves those.
Yeah, more hassles, more hoops to jump through.
Right.
But from what we're seeing, it's maybe not quite that simple.
No, it's a bit more nuanced than that.
Right.
On the surface level, you are going to have to fill out this application. You're going to have to get approved before you go.
Oh, okay.
But the UK is really emphasizing that this is all about streamlining the border experience overall.
So they're claiming it'll actually make things easier in the long run.
That's the idea. The thinking is that by having all your information pre-vetted, going through security at the airport should be quicker, less of a headache. Oh, so like a fast track kind of thing?
Yeah, almost like a VIP line for everybody.
Okay. I mean, that sounds all right in theory.
Right. We'll see how it plays out in practice.
Yeah. I mean, only time will tell if it actually delivers on that promise.
Exactly. And, travelers are definitely going to be watching closely to see how this all unfolds.
I bet that.
But there's another piece to this that I think is really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
This ETA system, it's not just about individual trips.
What else is it about?
It's about data.
Okay, now we're getting into some juicy stuff.
Right. This system is going to give the UK a huge amount of information about who's coming into the country, where they're from, travel patterns, even things like how long they're staying.
Right.
And that's powerful stuff.
Yeah. I can see how that could be useful for security purposes.
Absolutely. It could help them identify potential risks, track, movement of people who might be of interest.
Right.
But it also raises some big questions about privacy.
Oh, of course.
How is that data going to be used? Who's going to have access to it?
Right. Are there going to be safeguards in place to prevent misuse?
These are all things that people are rightly concerned about.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trade-off, right, between security and privacy.
Exactly. And finding that balance is going to be crucial.
For sure.
Yeah.
So for folks who are actually, thinking about booking that trip to the UK, after January 2025, what's the bottom line?
The most important thing is to remember that approved ETA, it's non-negotiable.
Got it.
You got to have it.
No way around it.
If you're not from Europe, you need to apply and get that approval before you even think about booking those flights.
Okay. And what's the application process like?
From what we're hearing, it's going to be all online.
Okay.
Relatively straightforward, but you don't want to leave it till the last minute.
Right.
Give yourself plenty of time.
So just to be clear, this is separate from like a visa application.
Right. This is for people who wouldn't normally need a visa to enter the UK.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've talked about how this could affect individual travelers.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture? How might this new system reshape travel to the UK or even globally?
That's a great question. I think one thing to consider is how it might impact tourism trends.
Okay.
Will this make it easier or harder for people to visit the UK?
Right. Will it affect, where people choose to go?
Exactly. And then there's the question of whether other countries will follow suit.
Oh, interesting. Like a domino effect.
Right. Could this become the new norm for international travel?
Lots to think about.
Definitely a lot of unknowns, but it's definitely a development worth watching.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for breaking all that down for us.
My pleasure anytime.
So listeners, there you have it, the UK's ETA system, A new era of travel on the horizon.
A new chapter unfolding.
It'll be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
For sure.
And for all of you out there planning your future adventures, stay informed, stay curious, and as always,
Safe travels.
safe travels.